This is part 5 in our discussion of Antichrist and Islam. In earlier parts we learned that he who hath not the Son hath not the Father that had sent him. And we learned then that he is Antichrist that denieth the Father and the Son. But if we simply compare the two books, it's not hard to reach a conclusion that Islam is perhaps an opposite of Christianity. In Matthew we learn, "But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you." Quran, "I will instill terror into the hearts of the unbelievers, smite ye above their necks, and smite all their fingertips off them." In Ephesians, "Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it." The Quran, "Your wives are as tilth, farmland, unto you, so approach your tilth when or how ye will." And Jesus answered him, "The first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment, and the second is like, namely this, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these." In the Hadith we read, "Jews will hide behind a rock and tree, and the rock and tree will say, O servant of Allah, O Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him." Regarding Israel in Genesis, we read, "And I will make of thee, Abram, a great nation," which became Israel, "and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." God gave the Jews their land and an everlasting covenant. In Genesis we also read, "In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates." Later, "And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God." Israel today occupies part of that land. They've had to give up a considerable bit of it. The concept of taqiyya, or lying in the way of Allah, is an unimaginable concept to Christians. Muslims can even deny that they're Muslims if they believe it will advance the cause of Islam. It's a far different matter for Christians. In Matthew we read, "But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven." So we find that those who deny the Son will be judged by the Son. In spite of Mr. Dedat's efforts, God's holy word will never serve Islam. One must make a choice between the 1600-year compilation of the writings of the numerous prophets and the miraculously fulfilled prophecies of God's holy word, in addition to all of the heavily witnessed miracles, or a book written about the unwitnessed revelations of a single, illiterate, 6th century desert-dwelling caravan plunderer who was preserved on leaves and stones. Once it finally was written down, it was later collected up, and all but one version burned on 2 separate occasions, under Abu Bakr and later under Uthman. In stark contrast, discovery of some of the original papyri of the Holy Bible at Qumran in the late 1940s demonstrate the textual accuracy with which the Bible, the Textus Receptus, or received text, the majority Greek text, has been handed down to us through the centuries. Rest assured that it was not corrupted to demonize Islam. It had been meticulously copied thousands of times and translated into many languages before Muhammad was ever born. Since the Quran nullifies, indeed is the opposite of so much of the 1600-year compilation of God's holy word, one must choose between the prophets of the Bible or Muhammad, between the God of the Christians and Jews or the one of Islam that curses Christians and Jews. should be no surprise then that imams discourage their flocks from reading the Bible. Why not read it or listen to it for yourself for free? It's available online in many languages, including Arabic. If you don't like to read, you can find it audio versions. This is the information age, not a 6th century desert. Time for choosing where you will spend your eternity is now. Any one of us could die at this moment. Will it be the smoking section or the non-smoking section? If you increasingly find a God-sized hole in your heart, why not visit A Muslim Journey to Hope and view video testimonials of Muslims who have come to know the love of the one true God through a personal relationship and the inner peace that only He can bring. Visit Walid Shubat's site. He's a former PLO terrorist, today a saved Christian who loves Jews, even after having been indoctrinated into hating them through Islam. That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us. My Muslim could-be brothers and sisters, lay your sins at the feet of Jesus Christ. Ask Jesus to come into your heart and into your life today. Truly our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ. As the second jihad gains ground around the world, it's interesting to consider 2 Thessalonians 2, verses 8 to 12. In prior verses, we understand that there's an apostasy, or there should be a falling away before Jesus returns. And I believe we've witnessed that over the last 40 to 60 years. If we only just turn on the TV, we can understand it a little better. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of His mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of His coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. We can only wonder as to what strong delusion is being suggested that God sends, particularly as to what a lie that huge might be. But at least as Christians we're comforted. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Jesus is the truth. Visit IsraelandBibleProphecy.com for the text version of this and links where you can explore these verses in their context in God's holy word. Also links to other YouTubes and supporting materials. Also visit BeholdTheBeast.com for an in-depth discussion of Islam and Israel and Bible prophecy, and how the mathematics of prophecy may indeed indicate that we are in the last days, that the Lord may be bringing in the last of His harvest.